Psychology says there is a specific type of person who has never once cried in front of anyone, not because they do not feel pain, not because they are emotionally unavailable, but because they've spent years carefully, quietly learning how to fall apart only when no one is watching. They have turned private crying into a kind of ritual. A door closes, the room goes silent, and only then, only in that moment, do they finally allow themselves to feel everything they have been holding all day. If you are this person, you already know exactly what this feels like. You know the specific exhaustion of keeping it together through an entire conversation when something inside you is breaking. You know how it feels to drive home with everything pressing against your chest and then sit in a parked car outside your house because you are not ready to go inside and pretend to be okay again. You know the strange relief that only comes at night, alone when the performance is finally over and you can stop holding everything so tightly. Psychology has a name for this pattern, and it does not begin in adulthood. Most people who cry in private learned to do this very young. Maybe they were told that crying was weakness. Maybe they showed someone their pain and that person looked away or made them feel like they were being dramatic. Maybe sensitivity in their home was something that made others uncomfortable, something to be managed or minimized rather than received with care. So they adapted the way children always adapt, quietly, completely, and without fully realizing what they were learning. They learned that emotions were safer alone. They learned that showing pain to the wrong person creates a second pain on top of the first, and that lesson followed them into every room they have ever walked into since. On the outside, these people appear completely fine. They smile, they show up, they hold space for other people's emotions with a patience that most people will never fully appreciate. They are the ones others call when something is wrong. They are the ones who listen without judgment, who remember small details, who notice when something is off in the people they love. But their own pain? That lives somewhere else, somewhere private, somewhere carefully protected from the possibility of being misunderstood. They tell themselves their feelings are not serious enough. They compare their struggles to others and quietly decide their own do not qualify for attention. So they minimize, they compress, they convince themselves they are fine with such consistency that sometimes they almost believe it too. But they feel everything. That is the part nobody sees. A single sentence can land in them differently than it would in most people. A small moment of rejection can stay in their chest for days. They replay conversations. They wonder what they said wrong. They go over and over a situation that the other person has completely forgotten. Their mind does not release things easily because nothing is ever processed out loud. It is all handled internally, in silence, in private, usually very late at night when the rest of the world has gone quiet. And when they finally cry, it is never just about the thing that happens today. It's everything. Every word they swallowed, every moment they performed calm when they felt anything but. Everything they kept inside because outside did not feel safe enough to hold it. The tears surprise even them. They did not realize how much they had been carrying until it was finally leaving. If this is you, you are not broken. You are not too sensitive. You are not difficult to love. You are someone who feels deeply in a world that has not always made space for that depth. The way you carry your pain quietly without making it anyone else's burden is not weakness. It is something else entirely. You do not have to force yourself open before you are ready, but one day you will find a person or a place that feels different from everything before it, and something in you will recognize it, and you will realize, maybe for the first time, that you never actually had to hold it all alone. If this found you at the right moment and put words to something you have been carrying quietly, subscribing would mean a lot. I make psychology content like this every week, and there is much more ahead. The video on screen right now was made for the same person this one was. See you there.